We've officially owned this property for a month. When we started off, everything was completely overgrown and hadn't had any maintenance done to it in years. We've only been able to work on the weekends, so we've slowly been cleaning up sections as we can. This is the pond house. Nature has definitely started to take it back over. The roof was caved in, some of the walls had fallen, all of the windows were busted out, but we were really excited to start cleaning it up to see how we could rebuild it. We aren't sure how much of the structure we'll be able to save, but we would like to use it in our new design when we go to rebuild. As we were cleaning up around the pond house, we noticed there are two pipes coming out of the house. There was a toilet and a shower inside of the house at one time, so we weren't sure where the plumbing was coming from or going. Thankfully, Joe stopped by to help us solve that mystery. Here we are pressure testing the tubes to see exactly where they're coming from. He used an air compressor with a custom fitting on the pipe to add air and build up pressure so we could find exactly where they were coming out. We believe this one was originally a drain for the sink. After pressure testing it, we found the other end coming out on the back side of the dam. After a lot of digging, we finally found the end of the pipe. Our next mystery was this clay chimney pot. After some Google searches, we weren't exactly for sure what it was used for. It was on the back side of where the toilet and the shower were located, but that still didn't make much sense. We figured out that this clay chimney pot was actually used as an insulator for the water line. There is a well on the property, but it is towards the upper portion of the property, so we weren't sure if this was hooked up to that or not. We were kind of assuming that it was maybe a line into the spring-fed pond. So we did a pressure test on this line as well and discovered that it does not come from the pond. The well on the upper property is not hooked up to electric at the moment, so we will have to wait and come back to that. Next, we are finally tackling the inside of the pond house. There were a bunch of trees that have grown up in here, and we weren't quite sure if they were going through the concrete or the walls, so we had to be kind of careful with the removal. We decided to pull the trees out, and obviously that didn't go very well. The front wall was obviously unstable, but we were hoping to salvage it because it did have a really cool windowsill on there. Since this front wall was crumbling, we decided to go ahead and remove the entirety of the front wall, and then that way we could get the skid steer in all the way into the house. Here we could see that there were inches of dirt that had accumulated in there, and the trees were not growing through the concrete. Now that we were able to drive the skid steer all the way up into the house, removing the trees was pretty easy. There were also two partition walls separating the bath and the shower, which we knew we wanted to remove those as well. We were able to knock them down without causing damage to the other exterior walls. Now that we have the trees and most of the dirt removed, we went back in with a shovel and scraper just to help clean up the rest of it. Here is an overall of our progress so far and how our pond is looking. We have a little more work that we want to do before we can start the building process. Make sure to subscribe if you want to follow our journey as we build our forever property. Thanks for watching.